It's been a long time since we spoke, hasn't it? Well, hi, I'm Philippa, a self-proclaimed perfumer and book lover of the books and perfumes that I own. Today we're going to be talking about perfumes that are really good and I think are perfect for spring, especially for soft, calm, luxurious ladies. This video is for those who have an interest in perfumes, even just the slightest bit of interest, and you're thinking, now it's spring, I'm thinking of buying or getting a new perfume. If you like these vibes, something soft, something calm, something luxurious that smells expensive but calming to your senses in general, I would say this is a very good perfume video for you to watch. Today we'll be talking about the sillage, the projection, the longevity, the notes and accord, key and accord, and also as well if these perfumes are good blind buys. In no particular order, let's start out. First off, we have All About Eve by Dupe. This is a fruity, fresh green vanilla scent. The notes are apple, cinnamon, jasmine, vanilla, and vetiver. My personal opinion, I believe that the cinnamon and the vetiver in this actually brings out this soft, kind of calm moxie scent from it. The accords on this, to me, it smells like soft powder, not baby powder, but kind of a very soft fruity powder. It gives me a reminiscent feeling of crunchy snow and fresh flowers in the morning, and the crunchy granite apples, not the taste of the apples, just the crunchiness. As for the sillage on this, I would give it a 5.5 over 10, and on a really good day I would say this could be a 6. Now the projection on its own, I would say it's the same as the sillage. I don't really think this projects too far, but it projects well enough for a perfume at this price point. Is this a safe blind buy? Honestly, I think this could be a safe blind buy for those who like anything baby powder related. If you like the creams or anything reminiscent of the products that you used while you were a kid, like baby powder, soft, musky, creamy body lotions, and you're looking for a non-generic take on apple and floral note, I think this would be a good blind buy for you. Honestly, it was a safe blind buy for me. So I also have to note that this is the best sleep perfume I have ever tried. Really, when I spray it on me, it really makes me feel so cocooned, like I'm in a warm blanket. Everything's going to be alright. This perfume, I use it when I feel stressed, I use it when I want to go to bed at night, and I have the best sleep after using this perfume. This is Ilio by Diptyque, an earthy, powdery white floral. Let's start off with the notes on this. This has prickly pear, it has iris, it has bergamot and jasmine. The accords on this, however, to me are really reminiscent of long rides on a dry day, but not the smell of the inside of a car. It kind of smells like fresh flower and the wind. Really reminiscent of cacti. I feel like this is an upgrade from the All About Eve Dupe perfume for a sleep perfume. However, there's just something too luxurious, something too sophisticated, something too potent for me to wear this as a sleep perfume. However, if you want something like that but for the daytime to go out, I think this is a really good option. People experience scents in different ways, and my iteration and explanation of how this perfume feels to me, the accords and notes that I get from it, the emotions that it evokes for me, is confidence, subtle confidence. Like if I want to go out and I know, like if I'm going out and I know that I want to smell confident and I know that I want to smell like I've got my shit together, I'm going to wear this. The sillage on this, I would go safest point would be like a 7.2. Now on a very good day, because at the end of the day, perfumes last as much as to the duration of your preparation. I'll say someone who just sprays perfume, a few spritz on themselves and they just walk out of the house, it obviously wouldn't last long. The projection on that wouldn't be long. Now someone who perhaps puts their creams, puts similar body oils, puts an occlusive, maybe like Vaseline to lock in the scent of this, and sprays it on their pulse points and sprays a lot of it. Now you see the projection on that person will be different. However, I would say for me, I'm a medium sprayer. I don't spray too much, but I also don't spray very little. Now very little depends on what you think very little is. Let me give you an example of how much I spray. If I'm going out, I would go 5 spritz is enough for me. If that is too small or too much for you, you can judge from this scale that I've given you. On a normal day, I would say this is like a 7.2, 7.3 on the sillage, and then on a really good day, it could be like an 8. Now projection on this, I think this projects a fair length away from you. I wouldn't say though that it's at maximum capacity. I would say somewhere around the middle or a little bit above average. Is this a safe blind buy? Honestly, I can't say. The funny thing is this also reminds me about books, like dry books that have been in a library without the dust. But the idea of a reader, the idea of a melancholic library and an intense emotional reader, that's what this reminds me of. So now I can't really say if it would be the same thing for you. So on a scale of if this is a blind buy, if it's blind buy safe, I think if you have the same taste as me, then go ahead. Otherwise, the longevity of this, how long it lasts, by the way, I think this lasts, I would give this a 7 over 10 for how long it would last on your clothes after you spray it. The longevity of this, I would give an 8.5 or 9 over 10 for how long it lasts on your clothes after you spray it. Unfortunately, it's time for the most... Where have I been looking at? I think I've been looking at a different position and the camera is right here. Oh, wow. Unfortunately, I come with the most sophisticated, the most beautiful, the most well-done perfume in my collection that I think anybody would fall in love with. This is Aesop by Chloe, the Atelier de Fleur line. It smells so wonderful. It's so well done. It is like the epitome of a softly spoken, calm, but resistant and grounded woman. This is what I would wear to a dinner party. This is what I would wear if I was invited to a ball. This is what I think debutantes in the old days smelled like. This is what I think powder rooms smell like. This is what I think nature and the fairy and the goddess of nature smells like. Well, not goddess of nature, but like anyone in charge of like the flowers and just being outside with the bees. This smells like them. It is said though that the notes on this are aromatic, warm, spicy, or fresh, spicy, sweet, floral. To me personally, I just think this is really fluffy, floral, not very fruity, not very citrusy to me. It smells like debutantes and fluff and powder rooms and the idea of Marilyn Monroe. The sillage on this I have to give an 8 over 10. The projection on this I would also give an 8 over 10. The longevity on this I would also give an 8 over 10. And if this is a blind buy, for me personally, yes, this is a very good blind buy. If you like everything that I've just said, this is a good blind buy, personal opinion. Now, while looking for perfumes that smell like books, that smell like readers, that smells like libraries, that I could use whenever I wanted to read to get in the mood, I was recommended this Philosopher's. Actually, I don't think I was recommended it. I think I liked it, and by the time I bought Ilio, the lady in the store was like, why? Because I also liked Philosopher's and I just couldn't make up my mind. She was like, I would give you a tester to go back home with. So she gave me the Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum. Oh, Philosopher's by Diptyque. Both of them are here and I have tested them out. What this smells like to me, by the way, is leaf. How do I explain this to you? It's leaf. Exactly as the notes say. The notes say that it's a very leafy scent, it's a very woody scent. It has like fig leaf, fig tree in it. This perfume smells like outside. Not the grass on the ground, but more or less like the leaf or the shrubbery. And you know, sometimes when you break a leaf, there's like a juicy liquid part of it that comes out. It's like that part of the leaf, this liquid, and also, but toned down a little bit. Toned down to around... Let's see, let's try the Eau de Parfum because I think that would be a little bit more pronounced than the Eau de Toilette. Yes. It smells like tree barks. It smells like leaf. It smells like tree barks and leaf. The reason why I said the leaf was toned down was because it didn't smell completely like leaves. And now that I smell it again and I'm looking at the trees outside my window, I'm like, this is exactly how tree barks will smell. I don't know if any of you have ever cut or like removed the outer back of a tree and smelled the inner linings of the tree. This is what it smells like. So while I was looking for something that smells like wood and books, I feel like this is a scent that's really reminiscent of that, and it would be a good scent to layer with the Ilio by Diptyque if you're a reader. The longevity on this, I can't tell you if I'm being honest because I haven't sprayed it on myself to go out. However, I can tell you if this is a blind buy, a safe blind buy. If you love anything trees, outdoorsy, tree barks, this is an almost photorealistic epitome of that. If you also like mints and mojitos, I think this is a good safe buy. On that note, I would also like to add 2 more perfumes that I think are quite fruity, and also just for the younger versions of myself out there who are trying to look for perfume and you can't really get your hand on something like the Diptyque or the Chloe perfume because those are more pricier than this. I think if you can go to like DM or Rossmann or anybody at all and you find something like these are really good perfumes. I think this is Happy AF and Chill AF by Addison Rae, the both of them. I'm gonna put the notes up on screen. These perfumes are really the epitome of juicy fruits. Think of mangoes, think of pears, think of grapefruits, think of apples, and the juice that comes out of these fruits. That's what this is, like a not sickly, but like a deeply concentrated version of those fruits. I think if you wear something like this and the bees outside start chasing you, it's very understandable. That's how reminiscent or photorealistic I think these two are. Anyway, I hope I have been able to convince you and not confuse you that these perfumes here are really good buys, especially for anyone who wants to smell like a soft, calm, sophisticated lady. I think these are really good options right here. Then I would separate them by inexpensive versions. I think a really good safe place for a soft girl to start out would be this All About Eve by Jupe. Then if you want to try something a little bit more mid-range or kind of niche, I would go with either one of these from Diptyque. If you want to try the best perfume that I think in my collection is the most well done perfume, I would go with Chloe. I would go with Izot by Chloe. These have been perfumes that I think are really good for spring, the epitome of spring, for a really soft, calm girl. If you've watched until this point in the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really would encourage me to keep going. And any questions you have, leave them in the comment sections. I really would love to answer your questions, anything that you would like to talk about. Also, of course, be respectful. And what else? Yeah, I hope these were really helpful. Until next time. See you. Oh, I forgot to mention something. If you've watched my other video, the last video, I think number 7, I was talking about how I got laid off, and right now I'm actually looking for a job. And because I'm also a student, I spend most of my days either reading or studying or working. And I was thinking, is there a way I could incorporate that into my videos? And I know that I personally like to watch videos of people who do study with me or work with me and work with them on YouTube. So I'm also thinking of incorporating something like that into the mix. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, and I don't know. The main point I think is, I'm guessing it could be a little bit confusing from what I'm already doing, which is books, perfumes, literature, vlogs. And I'm thinking, if I start doing read with me's, would that become a little bit confusing to find my niche? Anyway, I want to believe that the niche is Philippa and I can do that. Alright then, until we meet again, hope you have a good day.